Hey there, geeks. Adam coming at you with another edition of Comic Card Crazy. Our Bad Girl series of cards are continuing here. Yes, indeed. You better believe it. So many to get to. This time around, we're talking about Witchblade. Yes, Top Cow's Witchblade. Now, this pack of cards is from 2013, but of course, her story begins in the 90s, right? Of course, with all that Michael Turner art, David Wohl, who we have had on the podcast, Christina Z, all these people collaborating to put this character into the spotlight. Of course, Wizard was on board as fast as they could be, right? Wizard covers with the darkness there, right? Couple of these, how about with Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, yeah, and then her own special, and there were more to come. Of course, also, Wizard was going to get in on their half issues, although in this case, did a little something different. How about a 500 issue, which talked about Witchblade in the future, but there was then the spin-off, Tales of the Witchblade, right? What do we got here? Witchblade, Tomb Raider, promoting that second crossover, Witchblade versus the Darkness. Now, this one was exclusive when you got the Wizard Visa card, okay? This was the comic that they were promoting that you could get from them. Also, check this out. This was part of their big crossover with Marvel, but Wolverine and Witchblade teamed up, you better believe it. Even later on, during this, closer to this era where the pack of cards were, this is interesting because it actually had a quote from Wizard on the cover. So I think this is the Ron Mars era. Yeah, Ron Mars right there. So pretty cool stuff. Excited to open up this pack of cards because I don't know what they're going to be doing. Are they doing like a retrospective? Are they sharing with us just some new interpretations of the character? Was this the current artist of that era trying to show you what Witchblade was all about? Also, what does a modern card set look like? That was only 11 years ago. Most of the cards we're opening are 20 plus years ago. So let's check it out. Okay, so here we are with our pack of Witchblade collector cards. Telling us here we got 6 cards per pack. Now check this out. Collect all 72 cards, randomly inserted autograph cards, sketch art cards, and other special subsets. Gonna take you a lot of packs, though, to get all 72, I feel like. Let's take a look on the back here. So yeah, again, just telling you what is inside. Tells us, yes, again, from 2013. And then produced by Bragent Marketing Incorporated. Never heard of this company, but they do produce another set of cards we're going to be opening up next time around. But more about that later. So Witchblade, get the official Witchblade Collector's Album featuring 2 unique promo cards, only $39.99. Wow. So this is interesting. That's kind of a throwback because we haven't seen many sets that have been offering the Collector's Album. So that's pretty neat. All right, well, let's see what this pack of cards is about. Like I say, a little light with just 6 cards. They're not even chromium. That was kind of past. Actually, I would love to see somebody do a chromium set. They're bringing back all those covers, right? Those foil covers these days. Let's see what this is about here. Okay. They are a nice card stock here. So that's a pretty good-looking piece of art there. I assume we still got Sarah Pazzini as the bearer of the Witchblade in 2013. Don't know who these 2 characters in the back that are battling are, but let's read and find out. Okay. So, a Broken Trinity Prelude, free comic book day cover by Kenneth Rocafort. The Top Cow universe was always defined by perpetual battle, the Angelus against the darkness, with their offspring, the Witchblade, fighting both to maintain balance in the supernatural world. Squabbles amongst other artifact bearers and magical beings, in many ways, almost always seem to lead back to those 3. That broken trinity. Okay, interesting here. So yeah, I guess that's the darkness and the Angelus. I don't know if that's a single character or a group of characters. I'm not too deep in this lore. All right, now there is Sarah looking a little bit more intense, like kind of scared of the Witchblade, and then you got a demon in the background, so let's see what this is about. Okay, Witchblade issue number 138, Stepdad Sajic, okay. This is just pulled from page 10, so are these actually coming from the comics? Issue 138 turned out to be one of the most popular of the entire Witchblade series. A fairy tale formatted like a picture book, it featured the brave knight Sarah, who battled dragons, dark knights, and you guessed it, the evil wizard Irons. The story ends happily ever after, as you'd expect. And what better bedtime story for baby Hope could there be? Interesting. Okay, so now you know, a hot issue amongst the Witchblade fandom. All right, let's see what else we have going on here. This is kind of intense. There seems to be other people in some type of Witchblade armor, but if that's Sarah, she doesn't have it on her anymore. And what is this water spigot? Let's find out what's going on here. Okay, so a little bit after 138, 152, by Diego Bernard, Fred Benes, and Arif Prianto, after the recreation of the Top Cow universe at the hands of Jackie Estacado, Sarah found herself no longer a cop but a private investigator now residing in Chicago, an old town with a subterranean history of dark magic. Some of that magic, the Corruption Cataract, even managed to create its own version of the Witchblade, peddling the cheap imitation like a drug. Okay, so at some point there's like I guess a relaunch? They're saying a restructuring of the Top Cow universe, so there you go. All right, what's this one about? This looks like some type of alternate history. Is she like a Russian soldier? What's going on here? Witchblade Annual #2, Tony Shasteen here. In this annual, the Witchblade 15th anniversary, Sarah Pazzini took a step back in time, coming face to face with a former Witchblade bearer and hearing her bloody tale of the siege of Stalingrad. There we go. And just how much damage the balance could do when turned against mere mankind. The dark superstition of the frozen landscape sends a chill even through Sarah's veins. Okay. All right, another interesting image here with some stained glass. I don't know who that armored character would be. Let's find out here. Okay, so Witchblade issue 160, cover A, John Tyler Christopher. New city, new allies, same problems. Chicago has its fair share of supernatural problems, including a collection of imitation artifacts born of a twisted, corrupted evil. Perhaps the most dangerous of these foes is the anti-Magdalena, Alyssa, called the Antichrist by some and Satan's more evil, annoying hipster sister by others. The Anti-Magdalena proves to be the fiercest threat Sarah's faced in Chicago, maybe in the world. All right, last card here. This one actually feels different. Like the card stop and the texture here is kind of different. So I wonder what this falls under. Okay, so there is another bearer of some type of claw that looks like a more metallic, shiny version of the Witchblade. I guess it's always supposed to be, but it always looks more like gunmetal gray. All right, let's see here. Witchblade issue 109. So this says here, Sarah Pazzini pregnant? And Jackie Estacado the father? Out of some Machiavellian scheme, the darkness itself mystically, we don't really want to know the details, planted its magically conceived child in Sarah, causing her to seek out a new bearer for her mystical artifact, the streetwise dancer, Danielle Baptiste. Interesting. But again, this is so different than these cards. See, again, can you see that texture there? And then these are so slick, but it doesn't tell us that it's part of a special subset or anything on here. It's just got a regular number. So, I wonder if that was just a printing issue or what. All right, well, let's see which of these is my favorite. Okay, so that was a decent set of cards, pretty basic, but I think it served more of a purpose in catching you up with the Witchblade universe, which I found interesting to see where it was at in 2013. But I have to say, of all the cards, this one is my favorite. Not just the mystery of the different texture of what was going on there, and Sarah looks in charge. There's, a little intrigue, like who is this new person with the Witchblade? I love all of that. But I also just like the way the text was written here. It was very reminiscent of Wizard. It felt very kind of off the cuff and a little snarky, like the ahem, all of that in there. So that card definitely wins it for me. All right, so next time around, we are going to continue with the bad girls. And there is a bad girl who was everywhere, but I always wonder how many people were reading the comics or just recognized the character, and that was Dawn. That's right. So we're going to open up these Dawn trading cards. Interestingly enough, this is from the same company that just produced these Witchblade cards. So they seem to be grabbing all the the bad girls of comics of the 90s, giving them a new presentation in the mid-2000s. So we will get into that. I hope you'll stay subscribed here. But also, don't just wait for these comic card crazy videos. Go check out our haul videos. In fact, my co-host on Wizards, the podcast guide to comics, our main show where we cover every issue issue of Wizard Magazine and the bonus specials. We've covered that Witchblade special, interviewed David Wall about his experience. But Mike Schwartz, he actually just came into a bunch of vintage trading card sets. You're going to want to see these. It's going to be in an upcoming haul video. So make sure you're subscribed here for that. Among other things, we have interviews. We have some round tables. We got together with the people from Toy Fair. We got together with a whole bunch of other Wizard staffers. We've had these. You can go back on our playlists and check those out. But also, if you want to just find out what is coming up next, you can find us on social media at Wizards Comics, at Wizards_comics on Instagram. But hey, until next time, keep your books bagged and boarded.